Authority is the quality of operating from the correct level. The thinker who operates from conditions has no authority over those conditions. They are at the same level as what they are trying to change. Secondary reality, the level of effect. And you cannot change effect from the level of effect. The thinker who operates from within, from the causal level, has authority. Not because they are more powerful in a physical sense, because they are operating from the level that governs what is physically seen, the level from which physical expression originates. Primary reality, metaphysical ground, disciplined thinking operates from that level, and from that level it carries authority. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 179 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of disciplined thinking, the authority of disciplined thinking. Pause for a moment. Authority is the quality of operating from the correct level. The thinker who operates from conditions has no authority over those conditions. They are at the same level as what they are trying to change. Secondary reality, the level of effect. And you cannot change effect from the level of effect. The thinker who operates from within, from the causal level, has authority. Not because they are more powerful in a physical sense, because they are operating from the level that governs what is physically seen, the level from which physical expression originates. Primary reality, metaphysical ground, disciplined thinking operates from that level, and from that level it carries authority. Pause. The authority of disciplined thinking expresses itself precisely. When thinking is sustained upon the seed from within, development proceeds. Not because the thinker has convinced conditions to cooperate, not because circumstances have become favorable, but because the causal level has been activated. The metaphysical ground is receiving sustained thinking upon the seed, and what receives sustained thinking upon the seed develops, and what develops must physically express. This is not opinion. This is the operation of the law. And the law does not negotiate with conditions. The law operates precisely at the level of disciplined thinking, at the causal level. Always. Thought is within. Effect is without. Thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. The thinker who understands the authority of disciplined thinking stops asking conditions for permission. Permission is what you seek when you believe the authority rests with conditions. When you look at what is physically seen and ask, am I allowed to hold this thought? Does the evidence support it? Should I continue to direct thinking this way? These are questions asked of the effect by the cause. And the effect cannot answer them truthfully, because the effect can only report on what has already expressed. It has no view of what is developing below the surface. It cannot know what is accumulating within. The thinker with authority does not ask. They sustain. They direct thinking upon the seed from within. They continue to nourish the development, and they allow the authority of causal thinking to produce its inevitable expression. Pause. Authority is not arrogance. It is not the dismissal of conditions. It is not blindness to what is physically seen. Authority is the quiet, settled knowing that within governs without, that cause governs effect, that what is sustained upon through disciplined thinking will develop and express because that is the structure of reality. The thinker who holds this authority moves through the physical world with a particular quality. They are present in the world without. They engage with conditions. They participate fully in physical life, but they are grounded in the world within. And it is from that ground, from that authority, that everything they engage with is ultimately shaped. Pause. The authority that comes from disciplined thinking is not the authority of knowledge or position. It is the authority of the thinker who operates at the causal level. The thinker who sustains thinking upon the seed consistently begins to recognize something, that the effects in their life originate from what they hold within, not from conditions, not from what others do or don't do, not from timing or circumstance, from what they hold and sustain thinking upon within. This recognition produces authority, not arrogance, not certainty about the surface, authority, the settled knowing that the causal level is within, that they have access to it every morning, every practice, that their thinking upon the seed is real work, real development, real production of future physical expression. The thinker with this authority does not need conditions to confirm. They do not need others to validate. They do not need the surface to reflect back what they know to be true. They know it from within because they have been operating there. This knowing is authority, and it cannot be given or taken by conditions. It is built from within through sustained, disciplined thinking day after day. And what is built from within through consistency must express as consistent authority without. Now, the affirmation for day 179. Pause for a moment. Thinking is within my direction. I'm aware of thinking. I direct it deliberately from within, from what is recognized, not from what is physically seen. I do not follow conditions. I sustain thinking upon the seed, day after day, morning after morning. This is not effort, this is discipline. And discipline builds momentum, and momentum sustains development. And what is sustained unfolds, and what unfolds must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus.